Hello everyone, welcome back to Lice with Frances, where I share real stories from my professional lice treatment business called Liceology. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been around for a while, thank you for coming back. Today's story is one that I'll never forget. But before I get into that story, I did want to let you guys know these videos are for educational purposes only. And also, I wanted to let you guys know that if you are in Oklahoma or in Minnesota, and if you ever need lice treatment, don't forget about Liceology. Go to liceology.com to find out more details. We are currently mobile in Oklahoma only. We used to do office and in-home services, but now we only do in-home services. And we are now new in Minnesota. We are doing in-home visits as well. Check out our website for more details. We do travel 2 hours outside of the Twin City areas. And so if you're interested in that, just go to our website. I just thought I'd let you know that because I remember when I was in Oklahoma, I used to get a lot of calls from people just that watch these videos from other states, and they would be saying they wanted to book a flight to Oklahoma to get treated. And I would try my best to talk them out of it and just get them to go locally. But from watching my videos, they said, no, we want you to do it. So if you're one of those people and you've been watching me for a while, you live in Oklahoma or Minnesota, and you ever have any issues with lice, visit our website and call us and get scheduled, okay? But let's go ahead and get into this story. It involves a 91-year-old lady who needed lice treatment. Yep, that's right, a 91-year-old lady with lice. And this story is really gonna open your eyes to understand that lice does not discriminate whatsoever. Several years ago, I received a call from some nurses that worked at a local nursing home. They informed me that they had a 91-year-old resident who had received several lice treatments from their staff, but it kept on coming back. And usually when people say that it kept coming back, normally they're just not getting rid of it totally, and that was the case for this woman. They were at their wits' end and they needed some professional help. They needed someone who could come to the nursing home because at her age, traveling wasn't really much of an option. So I said no problem, and I packed my mobile lice treatment kit, jumped in my car, and headed her way. When I arrived, the staff greeted me so warmly. They were all so happy to see me. They were super grateful and just so happy to see me. They all had smiling faces. I think they felt like I was already taking the load off, even though I had done nothing yet. One of the nurses escorted me to her room, and that is where I met this sweet woman that I'm gonna call Rose for the sake of this video. Rose was lying in bed when I came in, and the moment she saw me, she said, "Oh honey, I'm so glad to see you." She immediately started to explain herself to me. She just let me know that she had been battling with lice for a while and she had no idea where she could have gotten it. So naturally I asked her, "So has any of your grandkids been up here lately? Have they been hugging on you?" And she looked at me and said, "Honey, my granddaughter is 41 years old and she doesn't have any kids." And then it clicked in my head, of course, she's 91 years old, so that would make sense for her granddaughter to be 41. But no little kids had been visiting her, and so she was just puzzled. Then she looked at me and said, "You know, the only thing I can think of is that I was in an ambulance ride recently. Do you think it could have been that?" She said, "It must have been that. I think that's what it was." She said, "The next time I get in an ambulance ride, I'm gonna put a towel down. I'm gonna say, hold on, wait. Let me put a towel down first before I lay my head back." We all just laughed. She's just so funny. I mean, I was just telling her, you know, I have no idea where you could have gotten it. Really, there's no way of telling where you got it from. The average person has it 4 to 6 weeks before they even know. So really, there's no way of knowing. But I do know how to remove it, and that's what I'm here to do. So let's get started. So I began to go ahead and apply the treatment, and then I let it sit for 20 minutes. And while she was sitting, her granddaughter came up to get her head checked because Rose did call her granddaughter and say, "Hey, the lice lady is here. You have been visiting me and you have been hugging me, so it's best that you come in and get checked." And so her granddaughter came up. I checked her very thoroughly and she did not have it. And a few of the nurses They went ahead and got checked as well because they had been exposed. They were all shaking and scared and saying, "Oh God, please don't let me have this." And none of them had it. So Rose was relieved, and so were they. So once I finished checking everyone, it was time to rinse Rose's hair. The nurses came and they helped me rinse her hair. Then I applied step 2, which is the combing cream, and then I put her hair into little sections, and I began to comb the lice and nits out of her hair section by section. I was very thorough to make sure that I did not leave any lice or any nits behind. And I must say that throughout her entire treatment, Rose was nothing but thankful. She continually thanked me the whole entire time, and I just kept telling her, "Honey, this is what I do. I love to make people happy and feel better." She let me know how miserable lice was for her and that she was happy to get some relief. She also shared with me some wild stories about how they used to treat lice back in the day. Let me tell you, y'all, it sounded horrendous, okay? She said they would have to pick lice out one by one with no proper tools and no real solutions. She said they would just sit outside and literally pick, and pick. And I said to her, that's actually where the term nitpicking comes from. When you hear that term nitpicking, you now have a visual of what that really is and what people are really doing when they're nitpicking, okay? That's really extreme. So the next time someone says you're nitpicking, they're literally telling you that you are relentlessly thorough and not in a good way. So this story is a perfect reminder that lice does not discriminate in any way. Rose lives in an upscale nursing home. She's clean, well cared for, and has a loving family, yet lice still found its way in. I've said it before and I'll say it again, lice is not about hygiene. It's not about how clean or how dirty someone is. It doesn't care if you're young or old, poor or rich, 5 years old or 91 years old. Okay, so just telling this story is making my head itch, so that's my cue to wrap this up. Plus, I have to go do a follow-up with a family that I treated last week here in Minnesota. I'm going to Minneapolis. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this story, please share it with somebody and make sure to thumbs it up. Thanks so much for watching this video today. If you enjoyed this story or if you learned something new, make sure to share it with someone and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you or someone you know needs some lice treatment that actually works, or if you're looking for effective natural lice prevention, I've linked some of our products below this video or look down in the description box. And everything that we use is all natural and only harmful to the lice. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.